Hi, welcome to Hunter x Hunter Theory. I'm going to explain about Leorio. In this video, I'm proud to say that you can learn more about Leorio than anyone else just by watching this video. But if you only want to know how Leorio will become the strongest, skip to 930. Leorio Paradinight is one of the main characters. It was suddenly revealed in Volume 31, Chapter 326, that his full name is Leorio Paradinight. I was surprised at how cool the name was. The origin of his name also hints at his future activities. Also, I think many people mistakenly believe that he was an aspiring doctor from his first appearance, but that is not the case. He has not been very active so far, but he was chosen as a member of the Zodiac 12 and his Nen ability was unveiled. Gon's father, Ging, and Hisoka think that he has a lot of potential to grow, and there is no doubt that he will play an active role in the Dark Continent. Now, let's take a look at Leorio. Age: 19 years old. Personality: sketchy, short-tempered. Birthday: April 4th. Height: 6 feet 3.98 inches. Weight: 187.39 pounds. Blood type: O-type. Nen type: emission. Nen ability: releasing Nen outward from an object upon contact with it. Leorio is 6 feet 3.98 inches tall and weighs an amazing 187.39 pounds, a great figure for a model. Who would have thought he was 19 years old when he was wearing sunglasses and a suit? Lol. He is easily agitated, and when he first appeared, he immediately got into trouble with Kurapika. When asked why he wanted to become a hunter by the captain who was in charge of the hunter examiner, Leorio replied, "Because I want money." In response, Kurapika said, "Not a lick of class," which made him furious. The reason for Leorio's anger is a very good example of Leorio's humanity. On the way to the hunter's exam, the examiner asked him, "If your son and daughter were kidnapped and you could only save one of them, which would you choose?" The examiner asked him. He was enraged at the hunter exam itself, including the examiners for asking a question that put people's lives on a scale. When Killua, who had taken the hunter's test with him, was told by his brother Aluma that it was impossible to make friends with Killua because he was an assassin by nature, he shouted, "Aluma is a jerk." He was angry for his friends without fear of risking disqualification, even though he had made it to the final exam. When Gon was in a critical condition, he was furious with Ging, Gon's father, for not even coming to visit him. He said, "Suck it," to Ging, who was clearly a higher-ranked player than him, and hit Nen of emission, bringing the audience to their feet. He is always angry for his friends and for life. It is in his past that he lost his best friend to an illness. It was not an incurable disease, but he could not afford to pay for the treatment. At that time, he decided to become a doctor in order to eliminate such injustice from the world. Again, he is confronted with the reality that he needs a lot of money to become a doctor. When he was first asked why he wanted to become a hunter, he answered, "For money." He meant that he needed money to protect his friends, to keep his determination, and to eliminate injustice in the world. In the York New City arc, Leorio supported Gon and Killua when they were raising money to buy Greed Island. He also helped Kurapika in his pursuit of the Phantom Troop despite his lack of confidence in combat, risking his life to help Kurapika along with Gon and Killua. In the chairman election arc, his straightforward personality won him a great deal of popularity among the members of the Hunter Association. When Ging and Pariston left the Zodiac 12, Leorio was recruited by the Zodiac 12 due to his high popularity. Leorio was still studying to become a doctor, but Cheadle arranged for him to go to the Dark Continent as part of the medical team, where he would be evaluated for his degree. Leorio decided to join the Zodiac 12 because it would be a valuable experience for him. He recommended Kurapika to join Zodiac 12, and both of them joined Zodiac 12. Kurapika, who has a hard time opening up, says that he is glad that Leorio is a member of Zodiac 12, and he is a charming man who is loved by everyone. He currently aspires to be a doctor and has traveled to the Dark Continent to support Cheadle's medical care and gain practical experience there, but it is clear that he had given up on becoming a doctor at the time of the Hunter exam. However, he must have been influenced by upright people with different dreams. After visiting Killua's house, he stated that he would enter a medical college to become a doctor. In other words, the Japanese version implies that he gave up being a doctor once, but the English version implies that he is still trying to become a doctor. Also, when Kurapika asks him about his purpose of becoming a hunter, he makes a self-deprecating remark. He says that he has no lofty motives, and from this we can assume that he has given up on his dream of becoming a doctor. The Japanese version says, "On my second thought, I can't give up on becoming a doctor." In the English version, it means, "I haven't forgotten my dream of becoming a doctor." In the anime version, as in the English version, the expression is that he has been trying to become a doctor since the time of the hunter exam. I think the author changed the expression because it was a little confusing to say that he failed once. However, based on the Japanese version of the story, where Leorio once gave up on becoming a doctor, he must have been influenced by straightforward people with different dreams through the hunter exam. Leorio originally wanted to save people, and must have been looking for money. However, in his quest for money, he probably forgot his original purpose and found himself obsessed with getting money. Leorio is a fascinating human being who realizes his mistakes and grows while disciplining himself. He is able to sacrifice himself for the sake of his friends, and is rushing forward toward his goal to save others. I feel very human and sympathize with him when he realizes his mistakes and reflects on them. Next, I will introduce Leorio's Nen ability. Leorio did not even know the basics of Nen when he reunited with Killua and Gon. It is normal for a master to teach Nen after passing the hunter exam, but for some reason, Leorio did not have a master. After that, he enrolled in a medical school and studied hard, so it's likely that he learned Nen on his own. He also stated in the chairman election arc that he was playing with abandon, and he is an incredibly talented man who studies, plays, and practices Nen at the same time. Although the details of how he learned Nen have yet to be revealed, we do know what his Nen ability is. Leorio's Nen ability is emission. In Hisoka's personality test, emitter is described as impatient, not detail-oriented. Comparing Leorio's personality to the test, it is likely that his Nen type is emission. The first of his Nen abilities is an attack technique where he puts Nen in his fist and sends it flying. He revealed this ability when he was furious that Gon's father, Ging, did not come to visit Gon. It is an ability that allows him to hit an object with his fist that holds Nen, and the Nen will slip through the object and be released to the opponent. The second of his Nen abilities is Echo Inspection. This is an ability that Ging discovered after analyzing the characteristics of his Nen ability. By emitting Nen in waves, this ability allows him to examine the condition of the subject on the other side of the wall. In addition to this, these abilities can also be applied to treat parts of the body that scalpels cannot reach. He can also use Nen to destroy tumors that have formed inside the body. At the moment, Leorio's abilities are being reviewed by Ging in many situations. Ging is one of the top 5 Nen users in the world. The fact that Ging saw Leorio's ability and evaluated it as having great potential suggests that it is a very good Nen ability. Currently, it is being used not as a medical treatment but as an attack, but since it is Nen ability involved in medical treatment, it is not designed for attacks. However, is it necessary to use a lot of situations where an ability created as a medical treatment is used in combat? If the author wants to make Leorio a medical expert, I think the author should use his medical ability to make him look good. Perhaps he will be active as a medical team member in the future, but also in combat. Also, his family name hides the fact that he will play an important role in the battle. Next, I will explain the origin of his name. The name Leorio is an anagram of Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio, the first Leo and the last Rio. Leonardo DiCaprio became famous in Japan with the movie Titanic in 1997. And since the serialization of Hunter x Hunter started in 1998, this is a strong theory. In addition, in Hunter x Hunter, there is a character whose name is determined by an anagram of a famous person, and that is Pariston Hill. Can you guess whose anagram it is? That's right. It's an anagram of Paris Hilton. The family name Paradinight was suddenly revealed in Volume 31, Chapter 326. The name Paradinight can be divided into two, Paladin and Knight. Let's talk about Paladin first. The Paladins, or 12 Peers, are 12 fictional knights of legend, the foremost members of Charlemagne's court in the 8th century. They first appear in the medieval, 12th century, chanson de geste cycle of the Matter of France, where they play a similar role to the Knights of the Round Table in Arthurian romance. Roughly speaking, Paradin is a word with a strong connotation of knight. It is thought that knight contains both the meaning of knight and knight. It may mean a knight who will be active on the Dark Continent in the future, defeating the darkness. Considering the meaning of the family name, it is not a suitable name for Leorio at this time. Leorio is an aspiring doctor and is participating in the Dark Continent as a medical team member. The word knight has a strong impression of a fighter, so it may have something to do with his future activities in the Dark Continent. As for his Nen, it is very much a mystery, as it was only revealed to be emission in the scene where he hit Ging. Also, Ging, who copied and applied Leorio's ability, made good use of it in battle. There is no doubt that the Nen ability was developed for medical use, but healing people means that it must also be familiar with destroying them. Perhaps Leorio's ability can be used for internal destruction. It can be used like an echo to destroy internal tumors, but of course it can also be used to attack the internal organs. At the moment, the only thing we can confirm is that his Nen can slip through objects and release Nen. However, if his Nen can slip through the guards reinforced by the enemy's Nen when he touches them, then he can inflict fatal wounds just by touching them. The problem is the difficulty of touching an opponent, but Leorio is an emission, so he works well with enhancement abilities. Also, his talent in physical power is comparable to that of Gon and Kurapika. Visiting Killua's home, he succeeded in opening the gates and his prowess is rated above Gon and Kurapika. Gon, Killua, and Kurapika are all shown in their activities. Gon is the protagonist of the story, so he is always active, and in the Chimera Ants arc he exceeded the limits of his abilities with vows and limitations. Killua was active in the Chimera Ants arc, where he developed his Nen abilities. In the Aluka Nanika arc, he is shown fighting for her sister. In the York New City arc, Kurapika fought the Phantom Troop and used almost all of her abilities. While each of the characters has had their moments of great success, Leorio is the only one who has yet to be depicted in action. In the Chairman Election arc, Leorio suddenly showed great talent and became a popular figure in the Hunter Association. In the Chairman Election arc, Leorio suddenly showed great talent and became a popular figure in the as a result, he has become a member of the Zodiac 12, a group of hunters who are on their way to the Dark Continent. The author has set several milestones for Leorio to play an active role in the Dark Continent arc, and I have no doubt that he will play an active role. I think Leorio will be a well-balanced character who excels in both combat and medicine. I'm looking forward to seeing a new side of Leorio. What do you think? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments.